So a very typical place for us to have bacterial canker is here at the intersection of branches. And you can see here that there is a canker that extends down to this area. Can you see the change in the bark? So below is healthy bark, and then we come up here, and right along here is the start of the canker, and it looks just a little bit kind of swollen. And the reason it gets swollen is that the sap of the tree gets pushed out and it lies under the bark just like a blister, and then it erupts out under pressure in various wounds. So you can actually see where it's erupted out of here, and it's very typical to see infection at pruning points. So you can see here and here, and then up here where there's pruning wounds, and you can see the sap just gets pressed out of there. So again, here's the bottom of our canker right here, healthy bark below, and then we come up to the canker, and then we actually have healthy bark on this branch, but this is the area of the canker here. So what I'm going to do here now is I am going to show you what this blister-like canker, actually one of the symptoms that we can tell canker on, and we'll see if this works. It's always live, so you never know. Anyhow, right in this area here is a kind of more blister-looking section of the canker, and this canker is active. It's actually growing very actively. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into this with my knife, and do you see the pitch that just squirted out of there instantly, just like a blister? So this is very typical of an active growing canker. So we see that the sap, rather, I keep saying pitch, the sap is under pressure, and it is just erupting out of the canker area. That's a sign that the canker is active here. So you see, again, I puncture into it, and look at that pitch that just squirted out actively onto my knife there. So I'm gonna now see if I can cut into this, and the edge of the canker I can actually see is somewhere down in this area right here. Again, if I lice that, you see that pitch just squirts out of there. That's very active growing canker that is going to kill everything from the canker on up, because it's going to block all the vascular tissue and essentially girdle this branch. So I'm going to go well below the canker here. I think in this area is good enough, and I'm just going to cut here. And you see how nice and green this healthy tissue is right here? So this is a sign of nice healthy tissue. But then what we're going to do is we're going to cut. I'm going to try to make a long cut up here and look at the canker. Okay, so we have healthy tissue, and then you can see right here that where the canker is beginning, and you have tissue that is dying back here. And so what we can see here is you can actually see all this pitch. This is where the bacteria are living, and they're building up all this sap, and so here you have your healthy tissue, and then you get up into the canker itself, and that canker will just girdle the tree. All right, so that is actively growing bacterial canker on a Regina tree.